PowerKast Progression. Radio with power.
What is up, everybody? Welcome to PowerKast Progression. Today, we're going to be reviewing TNA Bound for Glory 2024 from Detroit, baby.
Yes.
We went
Live, baby, live. And they handed out some rally towels.
Yep.
Pretty cool.
We took about, what, 3 of them or something?
Yep.
I mean, they were on the chairs.
Yeah.
So. This was from, what, Wayne State's Fieldhouse?
Yep.
I've never been to this arena.
Yep, Wayne State University Fieldhouse. I think that's where they play basketball.
Pretty cool arena. I like it.
Yep, but the whole crowd was throwing out the rally towels. It was cool.
So was this your, what, 3rd TNA show we've been to? Something like that.
Let me actually think. So, I went to a house show. I went to a live event. So I went to the house show, live event, which was like I think it was like just it was almost like a house show kind of. Probably, let's just say I went to 2 house shows, and then I went to 3. I've been to like 5 TNA shows.
This was my first.
Yeah.
I'm not a TNA virgin
Actually,
anymore.
maybe even 6. I think I might have been to 6 shows.
Man,
Yeah.
this is my first.
Yeah.
I honestly, like, it was.
This is my 3rd pay-per-view.
3rd.
Yes. I went to Bound for Glory. Went to that.
What year?
2006. Bound for Glory 2006.
Okay.
And then I went to Slammiversary 2009. And then TNA Bound for Glory 2024.
And our buddy Jeff went with us.
Yep.
He was impressed.
And then I went to 3, pretty much 3 house shows. Or 3 TV tapings.
I mean, I gotta say, honestly, the production, I was expecting this to look maybe like, because I know TNA used to do nightclubs, but I think they're far past that era.
Yes.
Like, this looked on the quality of AEW.
It was great.
Production-wise.
Yes.
Everything from the ring, the lighting, it looked beautiful. Like, even it was a small arena, but they made it work. They made it look beautiful. Very good show. So we're going to go through the whole match card. They did the TNA Hall of Fame. So a couple people were inducted to the TNA 2024 Hall of Fame, which I didn't even know they were going to do Hall of Fame. I don't watch TNA regularly, but I've been trying to get back into it. I was for a little bit, but then they fired Scott D'Amore. A little angry about that, not going to lie. But I'm kind of getting over that now, honestly. Like, they've been doing really freaking good.
They really have.
Like, Nick Nemeth now, TNA champ. Come on. The Hardys, like, you can't really deny Josh Alexander, he's really good.
Yes.
JBL's randomly showing up at pay-per-views. Like,
Joe Hendry's on fire.
You can't really deny TNA anymore.
Yes.
But some people are like, TNA, they haven't been good in years. No, they're getting
TNA
better.
has been solid.
Like,
and I'll admit, I thought once they fired Scott D'Amore that they were going to go downhill. And since they got this partnership with NXT, they're on absolute fire right now.
Absolute fire.
Yeah.
And I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to rate this. I'll tell you right now, this was a 10 out of 10 show to me. At least a 9 out of 10.
And this was a small arena, but it was jam-packed. Like,
sold out.
3,000 people.
Wasn't it sold out?
Sold out. Yeah. The arena holds about 3,000 people. But man, it was a hot crowd. They were loud. They were into it. It felt like we were in a way bigger arena. Like, just honestly, one of the best shows I've ever been to. Like, with crowd, the crowd was electric.
And match quality.
Yeah,
honestly.
match quality, but the crowd, like, I don't honestly think I've been to, crowd that crazy. I mean, Bound for Glory in Detroit when I went the first time was great, but I don't remember it being this electric, like the crowd wise.
I haven't met a homie in the crowd. He had Jeff Hardy paint. Yeah, he's following us on Instagram now. So shout out to him. I forget his name, but eventually I'll remember.
Yeah.
He was a nice guy. Big Jeff Hardy fan. Pretty cool. I haven't seen the Hardys since I was about, honestly, 12 years old. So seeing them again live, really cool. So let's get this underway. So TNA presents the biggest pay-per-view of the year, Bound for Glory, from Detroit, Saturday night. Nick Nemeth defended the TNA World Championship against Joe Hendry, and Jordan Grace defended the TNA Knockouts Championship against longtime I don't want to slaughter their name, but Masha Salabash, I don't know. In the night's two main events, but they were hardly high stakes matches on top of the extravaganza. What else went down? Who emerged victoriously? Let's check it out. So the match card here, we got TNA World Championship Nick Nemeth, aka Dolph Ziggler, versus Joe Hendry. Frankie Kazarian is the guest referee for the world title. We got the TNA Knockouts Championship match, Jordan Grace versus Masha Slamovich. Can't pronounce that name. Full Metal Mayhem, so basically TLC match. The Hardy Boys, ABC, Ace Austin, Chris Bay versus The System, Eddie Edwards and Brian Myers. Mike Santana versus Moose.
Del Vikingo.
Monsters Ball for the TNA Digital and International Wrestling Championship, PCO versus Matt Cardona. TNA Championship Tag Team match, Spitfire, Jody Threat, and Danny Luna versus Rosemary and Wendy Chu. Call your shot gauntlet match for an opportunity to challenge for any title, anytime, anywhere. And Countdown to Bound for Glory. All right. So we started off with Ash and Heather versus Brookside and Brynley Reese.
Yeah, and Brindley Reese is from NXT.
So TNA does work with WWE nowadays, which is great. Helps them a lot. Let's be honest. NXT's Brynley Reese teamed with.
Yep, and this was part of the pre-show. So this is not the main.
Yeah, this is pre-show.
Not main card.
With Brookside to battle Ash and Heather by Allegiance in the opening match for the Countdown for Bound for Glory pre-show. Red Hot crowd was solidly behind Reese and Brookside, who rolled out late in the match and appeared to be a high-profile victory instead of late, allowing the entitled heels to wipe out Brookside, leaving the NXT rookie alone. So, I mean, I thought this was pretty good, honestly, this match.
It was good.
Like,
solid opener.
They were really good looking.
For the pre-show.
They were good looking women, not gonna lie.
Yeah.
And not bad at all for like an opening match. I didn't expect much out of this.
Yeah.
But it was good to open up the show.
They're a good heel group.
Very good. Heather delivered a top rope Spanish fly, and Ash added a swanton bomb for the attaining victory. It was a basic tag match, but it all worked out well and highlighted the skills of the four women. Result: Ash and Heather Allegiance defeated Reese and Brookside. This site rated it a C plus. Yeah, I'd rate about C.
Yeah.
Something like that. Not bad. And now we have the TNA Hall of Fame 2024. So this is basically their version of the Hall of Fame. We had Rob Ryder, one of the founding fathers of TNA wrestling behind the scenes, and Rhino took their rightfully places in the company's Hall of Fame. So they praised Rob Ryder, who worked behind the scenes of TNA, and basically helped them through most of the TNA years.
Yeah, the early years. Yeah.
But he also was in WCW, they said.
Yeah.
Nitro, baby.
And I know he passed away. I just don't know the exact date. But and Eric Young was the one that inducted into the Hall of Fame. And Eric Young said that he was really close to him, and he actually was part of the family. Like Eric Young would have him over for Christmas dinner because, like Thanksgiving, any kind of holiday, because Bob Wright he didn't have any family. So like Eric Young was saying he was his family. You could tell Eric Young was choking up a little bit
Oh,
because
yeah.
he misses them. So, and they said Eric Young said that he loved to eat and he loved wrestling.
Eric Young, one of the stars of the anonymous TNA with the company over 2 decades, inducted Ryder and told the story for his passion for the industry. Ryder was revolutionary, someone who was active in the websites and understood the internet's significance and the future of the business. So yeah, it was actually I don't know. I didn't know, I'm not gonna lie. I don't know who Bob was.
I've heard of him.
But I'm glad to see that he helped TNA. See, I don't know the full history of TNA. I don't, but I'm willing to learn more. So I want to know more about. See, I don't even know the downfall of TNA. Like when they had Dixie, I still don't understand the full story of that. But I'm trying to figure it out because people tell me, "Do you know the downfall of TNA?" I'm like, not really. Like WCW, I know their history, but TNA, I'm still learning.
Yeah. To sum it up really quick, I say the biggest downfall was when they got rid of what made them special, the X Division, being different. Like they tried too much to be like WWE.
And they got rid of the six-sided ring and Hogan and Bischoff.
But we know why they got rid of the six-sided ring, and I don't miss it. I don't miss it
at all.
But like it's not a safe ring to work in. It's hard. It's hard for the wrestlers to hit the rope. So
well, they said Eric Bischoff. He goes, they didn't utilize the six-sided ring.
Yeah.
Like the X Division guys did, but everybody else did not. It was just a normal match and six-sided. It made no sense. They didn't utilize it.
And not to get away from the topic of talking about Glory, but like that's what made TNA so special in the beginning was the X Division. They had guys like Samoa Joe, Christopher Daniels, AJ Styles, Alex Skipper, and like they kind of when Eric Bischoff came and Hulk Hogan came, they made the X Division guys take a backseat to the to all the old timers, Kevin Nash, Scott Hall, the Nasty Boys. Like they brought all these people in who really shouldn't have been there. Like the main focus should have been the X Division.
Well, honestly, X Division is kind of back. Like,
it's back now.
It's back.
It's back now.
That first match, we'll get to that.
I'm just saying, like, just to sum it up quickly, that's just my thoughts.
Tommy Dreamer inducted his fellow ECW Rhino friend in front of his hometown fans, friends of Detroit. So Rhino is from Detroit. He reps Detroit. Always has. Always will. Loves the city. Loves the state. Michigan. He celebrated his love for professional wrestling, TNA's work ethic. So congrats, Rhino. Hall of Fame, baby.
Yeah.
Well
deserved.
I actually like Rhino.
Well deserved.
I grew up with Rhino during WWF hardcore era, early 2000s. Yeah. But most people know him for ECW and TNA.
Yeah.
His WWF run, it's okay. Wasn't that stellar, but him in ECW,
right,
in TNA, that I think he shines the best.
Yes.
Gore. So it's cool seeing Rhino out there. Pretty cool Hall of Fame. I enjoyed it. And now we have the TNA Call Your Shot Gauntlet.
Yeah. This is part of the pre-show as well.
Battle Royal. Basically Battle Royal. Participants, Frank Kazarian, Jake Something, Zach Wentz, Trey Magoo, Hammerstone, Raju. Sorry if I'm butchering any names.
Yep, and it's just it's like the Royal Rumble. You don't know who's coming out.
Jero Kid, Sammy Callahan, John Skyler, Trent Seven, Rhino's in here, Jay Hotch, bunch of guys.
And yeah, Rhino got a big pop.
I thought this was gonna suck. I'm
It was
not
great.
I'm not a big fan of battle royals. I
Yeah.
think they're fillers. Like in
Yeah.
WWE they do it with like the Andre the Giant.
Yeah.
Battle. Not really into them, but
Yeah.
this was good.
Yeah, and let me explain something. This is just not your typical battle royal. The winner of this match wins the trophy, which allows them. Pretty much, it's like money in the bank briefcase, same thing, same concept. You can pretty much cash it in anytime you want. It's literally the same thing. It's just it's a trophy. So this has a purpose.
I mean, there's not a lot to say. It's a typical battle royal. So
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of guys were. It was almost like the Royal Rumble 5,
Yeah.
4, 10, 9, 8, and then they'd come out. It was just typical battle royal stuff.
Some pretty good spots.
Yeah. Do you remember anyone specifically? Because I don't.
Jake something. He did some pretty cool stuff.
I know a female came out and Rhino almost looked like he was gonna attack her.
There was a female that came out,
but she got attacked by, I can't remember, but she got attacked. In TNA, they're allowed to attack the women, which is kind of different. That's very attitude-ish. I don't know how I kind of feel about that in 2024. I'm not offended by it, but TNA seems to not care.
Yeah, if I remember the Hammerstone and Jake something, they had a little bit of a fight going on. Two big guys at it.
The Man Beast overcame the numbers by disadvantage, outlasting JDC Francis to come in one of the match's final two competitors. Unfortunately, a low blow from the self-proclaimed king of TNA, Kazarian, allowed the hated heel to score the win and earn the championship whenever he pleases. So Kaz was the winner of this. I thought Rhino was gonna win because it's his hometown, it's Detroit, but they let Kaz win. So Rhino put him over.
But you gotta say though, it makes sense that Kaz won. Because Kaz, but he was the special guest referee in the Joe Hendry Nick Nemeth match.
They rated it a B. I'd rate that about a B. Better than I thought. I thought it was gonna be boring. Next match here. So this is the first match of the show. Damn. Good. Mike Bailey versus Vikingo. Pronouncing that right? Vikingo?
Yeah.
Damn good.
I'm bad at pronouncing it.
So am I.
I know he's wrestling AEW and he's fire and he's really good.
Damn good match. Like 10 for me. A+.
Fantastic.
So you're talking X Division Championship. This is classic X Division shit right here. This is like WCW Cruiserweight stuff here.
And let's talk about Speedball Mike Bailey's appearance. Let's explain to him how he looked. He looked pretty cool.
In the white.
Yeah.
He reminded me of Liu King from Mortal Kombat.
He had the karate outfit going on.
He did
and he had no shoes on.
No. He did the wrist tape, the feet, almost like Yokozuna. Very reminded me of like martial arts, Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
Even the other guy, Vikingo, he reminded me kind of like Scorpion. And I was yelling, finish him, Mortal Kombat!
Well, he came out with the mask and then he took it off and put it on the post.
I'm not going to lie, this might have been my favorite match of the night. Like, this stood out. It looked like they were killing each other out there.
Good.
Like, you're talking some of the moves I don't know if I've ever seen that before.
It was some great stuff.
A lot of pile drivers, a lot of flippy stuff, but I like that kind of shit.
Yeah.
So Speedball Mike Bailey continued his underrated run as one of the best wrestlers in the industry, successfully defending the X Division Championship. We're bound for glory. An extraordinary match. There's very little on the card that could eclipse it. this is a candidate for the best match of TNA in the whole year of 2024.
Definitely.
Hopefully, not the last time we'll see them compete. Bailey did defeat Vikingo to retain, which I'm happy with that. Yeah, I give this a 10. Good. So definitely, if this comes on DVD,
I would like to get it.
Yeah, I would get it. Great. I was really entertained. The next match here, we got TNA Knockouts Tag Team Championship match. Spitfire versus Wendy Chu and Rosemary. Now, not gonna lie, I went to go get pizza and water. I was a little thirsty. And
Yeah,
hungry.
I didn't get to watch the match either because I bought this. I went to go buy this T-shirt. Well, originally I wanted to get. Well, when I first got there, I'm like, I'm not sure if I was going to get a shirt, and they had a special Bound for Glory one that I kind of regret. I wish I would have got, but I snoozed,
Yeah.
and you should never snooze. I should have just bought it right away.
You snooze, you lose.
I snoozed, but then they had this, and I still like this. This is great. I mean, this is the classic. But like they had one that had the TNA logo, and then it said "I was here, Bound for Glory, Detroit, 2024." When I got up there, it was gone. So that's okay. I mean, I got this one, so it worked out.
Well, speaking of the Hardys, though, when I was getting pizza, Jeff came up to me. He goes, "Hey, man, you want to meet Jeff Hardy tonight? You want to chip in?" And unfortunately, I didn't really have a lot of money, but you guys actually chipped in half and half, I believe, right?
Yep.
You met Jeff Hardy, which we'll show this on camera right now. We have footage. You guys met Jeff Hardy. I actually shook Matt and Jeff's hand. He would walk past me in line, and wow, me shaking the Hardy Boys' hands, I never thought I'd do that in my lifetime. But I've been watching them since I was a kid. Attitude
too.
So, wow, like holy, you met Jeff Hardy.
Yeah.
Like you actually did you get an autograph or just a picture?
Just a picture.
And like me, like I'm just shaking their hand was good enough for me. Like I used to be obsessed with Matt Hardy, especially Matt during the V1. Very cool. They seem chill, very nice, insane. I think it was what 75 to meet them, something like that.
Like 70. I think it was like 70.
Yeah, so I can't talk much about this Rosemary match. I didn't see. I completely missed it, so we can't speak a lot on this. But
Just a little fun fact right here. Jody Threat is from Michigan.
really,
Yep. So that's kind of cool. She's a hometown girl. And Wendy Chu is from NXT.
NXT Wendy Chu and Rosemary challenge Spitfire Danny and Jody Threat for the TNA Knockouts World Championship. The champions retain after a double tough challenge from Chu, and Rosemary, who controlled most of the match. The heels had Victoria in hand in late 2 as they isolated a beatdown with Luna, despite recovery and a hot tag to Threat spark a comeback and allowed the champions to retain by pinning Chu. After the match, Rosemary delivered a spear to her partner and kissed her forehead, starting a rivalry.
So pretty much Rosemary turned on Wendy Chu.
A good match wrestled by 3 veterans. C+ they rated this. So can't rate it, didn't really see it. Now we have Steve Macklin versus Josh Alexander. Now, Josh Alexander, one of my personal TNA favorites of this era. I like this guy. Kurt Angle vibes. Amateur wrestling vibes. Really good guy. I think he's one of the better TNA guys, in my opinion, of the new era.
And he's a big heel right now.
Yes. I actually kind of prefer him as face. I don't know. Heel, I kind of like him better as a good guy, but whatever. Which is weird because I usually like heels, but he's doing good though. So an increasing personal rivalry between Steve Macklin and Josh Alexander, or its latest chapter in Detroit as they squared off one-on-one action. Did you watch the full match or did you miss some of this?
I actually missed most of it, which told me that that Rosemary match, Wendy Chu match, must have been pretty quick match. Because when I think I probably saw about half of it.
I saw about half too
Yeah.
because I was still in line getting pizza or whatever. But before the match, it was known that Alexander's Northern Armory teammates Judith and Travis could not attend the show, ensuring Macklin would get his hands on the walking weapon, Josh Alexander, without interference. Bulletproof did just that and even mustered an effective attack with both hands behind his back. Macklin was a man on a mission, punishing Alexander late in the match and leaving former world champion reeling. It was a great bit of storytelling. In the result, Alexander defeated Macklin by referee stoppage. B plus they gave this. I seen about half. I mean, Josh, he always puts on a great show. Always does good matches. So I believe it was probably about B plus.
Yeah. But I look at it this way. It's better you miss those matches than the other ones because the rest of them were solid. And when you're hungry or you want to get your merch, you gotta kind of like pick a time to do it. If you
Yeah, that's what I hate about live shows because I get hungry.
Well, we didn't do. We should have did it all at the beginning, but it's all right. Like I should have got my merch in the beginning. You could have got your pizza in the beginning, but then we would have missed some of the Hall of Fame, or some of the early matches, which I would have been okay with, I guess. I guess when it comes down to it, you're gonna miss some kind of match regardless. Unless you do it right when you get in before it starts. Like, you got a small window where it's like you got to get over there. But unfortunately, that's when everyone else is in line. So it's it's like
It's a pain in the ass.
it's a pain in the ass.
So the next match, we got the Monsters Ball
That was great.
Digital TNA Media title.
Yeah.
Matt Cardona versus PCO. So PCO, this guy looks like he's 50, but they're pushing him to have all these belts, and
He's
it's
awesome.
insane. And I'm like, was he in WWF back
He
in the
was.
day? Did he go with PCO or was it?
No.
Who was he in WWF?
You keep
This
talking.
guy looks like Frankenstein, 50 years old. He's got belts. They're pushing him. He's this hardcore badass. When I first seen him on TNA, I'm like, really? This guy looks like he should be like at home drinking a beer or something at his age. But no, age is just a number in pro wrestling. Let's be here. Let's be real here. Look at CM Punk. I mean, look at Jericho. Sting even. In wrestling, age can just be a number. If you can still go, even the Hardys, pretty sure they're in their 50s now, and they can still go. So, if you can still do it, fuck it. PCO, I'm digging him. For his age, he's hardcore. And Matt Cardona, the more I'm watching Matt Cardona, I'm really enjoying him. Didn't really care for him as Zack Ryder, but I actually kind of like Matt Cardona. He's pretty cool. So we got the Monsters Ball. Anything goes, and PCO is defending both the titles. An early clothesline drops Cardona, but he sends PCO outside where Cardona realizes there's no countouts. That means Cardona joins him on the floor for some rams into the vicious steel objects, including dropping him back first onto the steps. That looked pretty dangerous, not gonna lie. I thought he broke his damn back. So in this match, you're talking thumbtacks were used, thumbtacks to the back. Matt Cardona got slammed on like steel chairs. You're talking a bunch of crazy shit. PCO loads up to a dive, which is cut off with a trash can shot to the head. Yeah, we had trash cans. So typical I mean, if you enjoy AEW or Attitude Era shit, you're gonna like this match. And PCO defeated Matt Cardona with a moonsault off the top rope, complete with thumbtacks like stuck in his head. So there was blood, I'm pretty sure, if I can remember correctly. I remember PCO bleeding. This site gave it a B minus. Honestly, yeah. For a hardcore match, it was about a B minus. It was pretty cool though. I enjoyed this. And what was hilarious, Matt Cardona was wearing the Ghostbusters outfit, the Deathmatch Busters.
Yeah.
So it was a throwback to Ghostbusters because it is Halloween season. Fall of Fear, baby. But what did you think of this match? Hardcore?
I enjoyed it.
I'm gonna call it hardcore.
And what I really liked about it is they used the doors. They slammed each other through the doors, which was a little different because like obviously there's going to be a whole bunch of tables in the match, so that was kind of smart of them. Even though it's pretty much the same thing, it looks different.
Yeah, they used like just random doors
Yeah.
to put each other like almost like tables.
Like white doors, like front of the house doors.
Yeah. Thumbtacks galore, baby.
Yeah, and I got a little bit of information on PCO, and like I just forgot what the name of the group he was in.
I don't remember him in WWE.
But he was in the World Wrestling Federation from 1993 to 1995.
New generation.
In July 1993.
Was he called PCO though?
No,
What was he called? If I hear his name, I might know who this is.
he was one half of the Quebecers. Is that what that is?
Quebecers before my time.
Yeah. Quebecers.
He's cool though. I enjoy PCO. What would you rate this match? They gave it a B minus.
It says right here as one half of the Quebecers. Culet adopted the name Pierre and dressed like Mounties.
No, I don't remember.
Yeah. I think they were heels.
I'm surprised he's just doing all this crazy shit at his age, but like I said in wrestling, do you agree age is just a number?
I agree.
I mean, look at Sting, look at Jericho, the Hardys even. Some people are like, oh, they're washed up. But you know what, dude? Jericho can still put on some pretty good matches. Even Sting at his old ass, jumping off balconies in AEW. Come on.
And it says right here in 95 he was repackaged as Jean Pierre Lafitte.
Looks like he has a eye patch
Yeah.
like Moxley.
He's got an eye patch going on. And he was like it was a pirate gimmick.
That's cool.
Yeah, but a little fun fact. I think the reason why he had to have this patch is because he actually was, believe it or not, it made sense because he's blind in one of his eyes. For legit, he's blind in one of his eyes. I watched an interview with him because I was kind of trying to like learn about him a little bit because I really didn't know much about him, honestly, until like I know he was in.
I didn't know much about him either.
I know he fought in ROH. He did some cool stuff in ROH and TNA. But like he was talking in an interview, and when he was a kid, like they were, you know how kids get into mischievous things, but they were like, I forgot the full story, but somehow they were like, they had slingshots or something, and they had these sharp sticks, and this one guy like shot at him, and he meant to get him like just below, but he ended hitting him right in his eye, and the sharp stick went into his eye, and in that kind of situation, always leave it in the eye. Like whatever, but he pulled it, and once you pulled it, it was done.
I think New Jack was also
Yeah.
blind in one eye.
Same thing happened to Steve Irwin. Like when he got stung by that stingray, if he would have just kept it, which is hard to do because it's a reaction to pull it out. But like if he would have kept it, then there was a chance that they could have saved him. Because when you pull it out, you rip too much important things. So that there's a little that's what happened. I remember watching a little bit something about him.
I can seriously say though, TV 14 is here to stay.
Yeah.
Like Raw is going to Netflix. They're going to even NXT right now. Do you know they're TV 14? WWE is wrestling is going back to the.
Yeah.
They're doing hardcore shit.
AEW is going to be a Max.
Mhm.
So that's big news.
PG
2025.
PG wrestling's over, honestly. About freaking time. What would you rate the match? B plus, B minus.
I'd say B plus.
I liked it. Good
was
hardcore, violent. The next we got Mike Santana versus Moose.
Which Mike Santana used to be in AEW.
Really?
Yep.
I guess it was decent. I mean, I don't know if it was my favorite match, but it was entertaining. Moose has the JDC with him. The fight starts fast on the floor with Santana sending him into the barricade. The referee goes to check on Moose, allowing JDC to send Santana into the steps.
Yeah, don't you remember he was part of the inner circle?
Oh,
Sure,
now I
yeah,
do.
yeah, he's part of the inner circle.
They get inside so Moose can get two, but Santana escapes a powerbomb, hits an enziguri, cannonball in the corner into a powerbomb. So Moose he's actually a pretty good star right now. He kind of gives me a Bobby Lashley vibes.
A little fun fact: Moose used to play in the NFL.
He's a big dude. He's pretty big. Like he's almost as big as Bobby Lashley, honestly.
And he's a heel right now.
Yeah. He was champion for a minute.
Yeah.
You know that? He was TNA champ. But then Alex Shelley, I believe, won it.
Believe it or not, don't 100% quote me on this, but I think he actually he was gonna get signed by WWE, or they were interested in him, and he failed his physical. So
Moose?
Moose did, yeah. So like he wasn't able to go to WWE at the time because they were interested in him. So then he went to TNA. But before that, he was actually in ROH. But then, yeah, he left ROH.
He's actually doing good in TNA. Though.
Yeah.
Like, he's a pretty big draw.
Yeah.
He's a big guy. Nasty powerbomb onto the apron has Santana in more trouble, but he beats the count at 9. JDC comes in with a chain around his hand, works the referee, but almost hits Moose, earning himself a spin the block. Moose gets 2, and the fans are into it again. Another spear. So Moose does the spear. That's his shit. Honestly, kind of Edge Goldberg vibes.
He does it a little different though.
Yeah, it is a little different. It's dope though. They rated this a B minus. Yeah, honestly.
It's almost like, how do you explain it? Like he kind of attacks him, but he goes a little higher. He almost like, you know what I mean? You know how like sometimes a spear, how you go real low and get him? He kind of like shoots up a little bit, almost like, it's like the best way to explain it. You remember? Like it's different. It's not your typical spear. Kind of hits them like, kind of almost like flies a little bit and he kind of hits them.
Yeah, it's good. It looks dope.
Yeah.
He beat him, Santana. Right here it says there's no reason for Moose to win here, as Santana has hit the ground running as a single star and very well could be moving the world title scene sooner rather than later. What mattered here was getting Santana the biggest singles win of his career, and he fought back to overcome the odds to get there. A perfectly acceptable match, with the result being what matters. So, I liked it though. Moose is cool. I'm not gonna lie. At first, like when I first seen Moose on TNA, I'm like, not feeling him. But like over time, like he's getting better. He's getting better.
And he's the leading member of the System faction.
I like him better now with the long tights. He looks more decorated.
Yeah.
I think in his beginning years he didn't look. He just looked kind of like just bland. Now he looks more like I said, like on a Bobby Lashley level. So the next match we got the Knockouts title, Jordan Grace versus Masha. Sorry for butchering Slamovich.
I think it's Slamovich.
This was the good.
That was
knockout
hard
match.
hitting. That shit was hard hitting.
This was good. I would put this up there with like Rhea Ripley style match.
It was definitely
I was impressed. Now this is the type of women match I like. I like when they're rough. I like when it looks like they're selling it like the men. Psychology, the impact of the moves. If more women matches were like this, I would be more into the women's division. I want to see more of this from the women. But Grace is defending, feeling out of process to start with Grace winning the battle over a lockup. Slamovich gets in some shots of her own, but Grace ties her into the ropes for a kick to the leg. They head outside where Grace hits a rolling Death Valley driver for a near fallback inside. Grace starts kicking away at the leg, but it's too early for the Juggernaut driver. So we go up to where Slamovich plants her back down, setting up the snow flow for a fast near fall. Slamovich knees her down and gets a running Spielwick kick, only for Grace to knock her down again. So I'm gonna rate this like in honestly probably a 10. As a women's match, this was fucking good. This was really good. They rated it a B. I don't know. I'd rate this fucking 10.
yeah.
A.
Yeah. A.
Like I'm not used to seeing good women matches. Like
Yeah.
some women matches, they're just. I'm not trying to diss the women. I do like the. I don't mind the women's division. I just want to see more of this. Like rough, like sell it. Like the wrestle like the men, like a Rhea Ripley, like a China, like the tough women. So this was good. I'm very impressed. Now we have TNA, the World Heavyweight Championship. Joe Hendry versus Nick Nemeth, aka Dolph Ziggler. Nick Nemeth is the world champion. Now, I asked you, I'm like, who do you think's gonna win? You were all for Joe Hendry. You're like, I think he should go over. I think it's Joe Hendry's night. I disagreed. I'm like, I think Nick Nemeth is going over. I think Nick Nemeth is a good champion.
But
right
let
now.
me just clarify something. I like Nick Nemeth too. So I was not like disappointed that Nick Nemeth won.
You're not disappointed.
I just felt like there was a chance that Henry could have won because it could have been like his Daniel Bryan moment. But obviously that it's not time for that.
Not time yet.
But that crowd was absolutely nuts over Henry.
Mm-hmm.
Like that guy,
He's over.
he is so over. That's
He's
why
over, baby.
He's over, dude.
The spin move.
And let's talk about his entrance was pretty damn cool.
He did an Eminem throwback.
Yeah.
He comes out with the hockey mask and the overall. I thought it was Eminem. Like,
Yeah.
is Eminem showing up tonight? Is Eminem here?
Yeah, he had the Jason mask on
That's some shady, bro.
and the chainsaw.
I didn't know he was an Eminem fan.
Yeah.
I didn't know. I didn't think he'd be an Eminem fan, dude. He doesn't
Well,
seem like
he knows that that's with Detroit and stuff.
Right.
And
That was dope.
Yeah.
Came out
And
with-
if you if you listen to the music, they had to like make it different, but you can hear like Eminem in it, like the 8 Mile song. Yeah, you could hear it like a little bit.
They were cheering Joe Hendry up the ass. Like Nick Nemeth comes out, you hear boo, like everybody hated Nick Nemeth that night. And then they were chanting "Fuck Ohio" because he's from Ohio, and
Yeah.
Detroit doesn't care for Ohio, but I like Nick Nemeth. I was cheering. He gives me Shawn Michaels vibes.
Yeah.
Like, he's a modern day Shawn Michaels. I'm sorry,
He's phenomenal.
he's as good as Shawn Michaels, if not better.
And I honestly have to say I think he made the better decision going to TNA than AEW. Even though I'm an AEW fan, the roster's just way too bloated in AEW.
At first, I'm like, why would he go to TNA? Is that a mistake?
And
But looking back now, he made a good.
he would have got
choice.
lost in the shuffle,
He made a good choice.
but like at TNA he stands out. TNA
He's a big-
he's the top dog.
Big fish, small
Yeah.
pond.
Yeah.
And he's a modern day Shawn Michaels.
Yeah.
You can tell he's influenced by Shawn Michaels. Even as the Sweet Chin music.
Yeah.
And Billy Gunn, I see a Billy Gunn influence there. But man, I mean, his entrance, I love the theme song.
I want to bring
Wanted Man.
I just want to bring something up I forgot. So we all know that Rhino is from Detroit. He lives in Dearborn. Diehard Lions fan, and they brought that up like he's a diehard Lions fan, and the whole crowd chanted Jared Goff, Jared Goff. That's pretty cool because
The Lions are doing really good this
Yeah.
year.
but
We don't suck anymore.
Jared Goff gets chanted his name gets chanted everywhere. So just something cool.
All the Lions haters, we don't suck anymore. We don't. I make fun of the Lions, but who doesn't? But we don't suck anymore.
We're 6-1 right now.
We're doing fucking good.
Yeah, we're number 1 in our division.
So Nemeth is defending, and Frank Kazarian's the special guest referee. I love Kaz. He's a smart ass. He's like a douchebag gimmick. Love it. So they go rather slowly to start with Hendry's wrist lock, not getting him very far. So Nemeth hits a nice drop kick to really stagger Hendry. The fans do not like Nemeth's home state of Ohio. So Hendry is running the show. Nemeth over to make them feel better. A rather delayed vertical suplex, but Nemeth down. Hendry drops him again. Puts on my hands. There's a fall away slam to send Nemeth flying, but it's too early for the standing ovation. That's enough for the Nemeth to hit the Famouser. So you see a couple Famousers. See, this is where I think he's kind of like a Billy Gunn. I think he got that from Billy. That's Billy Gunn shit. Even the boots, the white boots. But I like that. I like how he took a little bit of Billy Gunn, a little bit of Shawn Michaels, made it his own thing. Even the whole Wanted Man, Ass Man, like you can tell it's just altered. And he rolls out to a high crossbody. So here's where things got nuts. JBL comes from the fucking crowd with his new outlaw gimmick. He's got the cowboy hat. Now he's been doing this a little bit through some TNA shows, coming out and clotheslines the shit out of you. So I have no idea what the story is here. I have no idea if JBL's coming out of retirement, but he comes out for no reason. I don't know if maybe there's a reason behind this. It felt like no reason, just clotheslines the shit out of Kaz.
I know he's been showing up in other promotions as well.
Yeah, like GCW, was it GCW he did? I think it's GCW. But he clotheslines the shit out of Kaz, the ref, looks at him like a dead stare, like just stands there. The crowd's going nuts, and then clotheslines the shit out of Nick Nemeth, I believe, and Joe Hendry. It looked like for a minute he wasn't gonna hit Joe Hendry, but he did anyways. And then he hit somebody else in the crowd or something like that. So everybody was freaking out. Even I was like, dude, fucking JBL, bro.
I don't know if he clotheslined Nick.
I thought he
I
did.
think it was someone else.
Maybe he did it, but I thought he did. So I don't know. He comes out and just clotheslines the shit out of everybody. It felt like so totally fucking over Nick Nemeth. Not Nick Nemeth, Joe Hendry. Totally fucking up Joe Hendry. So you can thank JBL for Joe Hendry's loss here. I would give this match, honestly, this should have been the main event, but the Hardys took the main event for some reason. Not sure why. I thought this would have been the main event, but hey, I mean, it is what it is. Yeah, I'm giving this match I guess, I don't know, maybe a 10. This is good. A plus.
Yeah. A+.
It was cool. See, it was, to me, this was everything a main event should be.
The crowd made this match so fucking great. Like the crowd was stomping. They were like, it was electric, dude.
I'm glad Nick Nemeth won.
Like Joe Hendry, I should say, is so over, dude. Like he is.
I'm just a big Shawn Michaels fan, and Nemeth reminds me.
He literally is the next Daniel Bryan.
Joe Hendry?
Yes.
I don't know about
No, I'm saying
Really?
with the crowd.
With the crowd.
With the crowd.
Okay.
I'm not talking about skill wise. I'm saying you know how
star wise.
How you there's a wrestlers that just have the crowd with them every second. It's Joe Hendry. That crowd adores him. That crowd, he has the crowd on his side. He just smiles, and then everyone is just singing along with him.
But I'm sorry.
Crazy.
Sorry, Joe. It was Nick Nemeth's night. So Nick Nemeth retains the world title. Now, I think Joe Hendry is going to NXT. That's what I think. So they don't have plans for him.
I don't know if he's going yet. I think
eventually.
I think he's still with TNA for a little bit longer. I don't know those details. I don't know how long his contract is, but eventually, I'm sure eventually he's going to go to WWE.
He just fits for WWE.
Yeah.
I remember seeing Joe Hendry on TNA before nobody even knew who the hell he was. I remember talking to you, dude, this guy Joe Hendry. I liked his song. I was like, this is catchy. The guitar, Joe. I'm like, this guy's actually
cool.
This is entertaining.
Yeah.
And he's funny. He makes fun of people.
Yeah.
And then I told you about him, and then now you're catching on. I told Jalen about him. Now it's like, dude, Joe Hendry. So he's blowing up.
Yeah.
He's gonna be a star. But I'm more of a fan of Nick Nemeth, just being honest. So the actual main event now.
I'm just gonna say something real quick. To be honest, I was starting to get really into it when Scott D'Amore was there. Because I'll be honest, I kind of stopped really paying attention to TNA.
Your main focus is AEW.
Yeah, I mean, I just didn't have. I've always been a huge TNA fan, but I just it kind of fell off, and I don't have their channel, and
well, now we have TNA Plus.
But when I found out they were no longer going to be called Impact Wrestling, and they were going to the TNA logo,
back to TNA,
I loved it. And when I saw that promo with Scott D'Amore, and the passion he had, it made me excited again. And then when they fired him, and I still think it's bullshit, but when they fired him, then I kind of said, well, fuck this crap.
You're like,
Yeah.
fuck TNA.
I'm just I was mad. I was hurt. It's how do you get rid of the most passionate person?
I didn't understand that either.
And
I said to save money or something?
I still don't. Yeah. I mean, a lot of it had to come down that
the Anthem Sport.
Well, Scott D'Amore wanted to buy TNA from me. He said, I will buy it, because they could not agree, because Scott D'Amore wanted more money to compete with AEW, WWE. He wanted a bigger budget. Anthem didn't want it. So I thought that they were just going to be awful, but
They're not.
they have good leadership.
They're not. They have Tommy Dreamer
Tommy Dreamer,
as the writer producer,
yeah.
and who else?
Lance Storm
Lance Storm
is a producer,
which is a fucking amazing talent.
and believe it or not, Ace Steel is there. He's the one that was part of the drama with CM Punk. You remember how like CM Punk and one other guy were fighting the Young Bucks backstage? Ace Steel is there, and I forgot who I think Gail Kim is part of she's part of it as well.
All I know is AEW can't fill arenas. That's all I know right now. And TNA, man, they're rising from the fucking ashes. But don't quote us on anything. This is just what I've seen on the internet. But man, I'm gonna say overall though, TNA, whether you're an AEW fan, WWE, wrestling is back. You cannot sit here and tell me wrestling sucks right now. Oh, it's not as good. Wrestling right now, 2024, honestly, since like 2022, 21, this is the best pro wrestling has been, in my opinion, since like 2002, or at least 06. You can't even tell me wrestling sucks right now. Did you not watch Bound for Glory? Did you not watch Slammiversary? You know, come on. This is like, did you not watch SmackDown recently? Motor City Machine Guns win the tag team titles. We have all good champions right now. It all makes sense. The Motor City Machine Guns are tag champs on SmackDown. Fucking the Young Bucks tag team champions, AEW. Cody Rhodes, WWE champion. Gunther, world champion. Nick Nemeth, TNA world champion. And we're the Hardys now. Let's just say it right here. The Hardys have just won the TNA tag team fucking championships.
Yeah.
Wrestling is fucking back.
Yeah.
It is fucking back. I don't care if you watch WWE, NWA, New Japan. Right now, it's all fucking good. It's not. I don't think it's as great as late '90s wrestling. Maybe it's not as memorable, but damn, it's the best it's been since Ruthless Aggression. And I've been waiting for wrestling to come back. I've been waiting for the PG era to be over. We're going back to TV 14. Wrestling is now, it's meant for adults and kids now. We can all watch it without having censorship. And you can't do this, can't do that. Raw's going to Netflix. NXT's on CW. Like, you can't really hate wrestling right now. If you do, I think you're an idiot.
Can't.
My opinion. If you hate wrestling right now, I think you're kind of an idiot.
Wrestling's on fire right
It's
now.
good. If you're a real wrestling fan, you should see like the impact they're doing right now.
Yeah.
Honestly. Just my opinion.
And I mean, yeah, AEW has their struggles with attendance and stuff, but I think
It's still good.
I still think they're a good product,
It's still entertaining.
and they're still getting good crowds for pay-per-views. I mean, they're struggling to get crowds for Collision and Dynamite, their weekly TV, but pay-per-views they're still getting good crowds. So people are coming out for pay-per-views.
Yeah, but all companies struggle.
Yeah.
WCW had their struggles. WWE back in the day had their
Yeah.
struggle years. TNA had their Dixie Carter
Yeah.
years. Hogan and
Yeah.
Bischoff. And look where they're at now. That's what I'm saying. Oh, AEW, they're not. Just because they're struggling now doesn't mean they can turn it around in a couple of years or next year or whatever. Anything is possible. Look at WCW. They couldn't compete with WWF. They got Bischoff. Everything fucking changed. That could happen with AEW. So the haters, you could sit there all day. AEW sucks. They can't fill arenas. Blah blah blah. They could hire new writers next year. They could get Shane there. You gotta have faith. If you don't have faith, what do you got? I mean, whatever. It's cool to make fun of AEW right now. I get it, but it's still a good show. It's not bad.
Yep.
So we got the main event here: TNA World Tag Team Championships, Full Metal Mayhem. So basically tables, ladders, chairs, TLC, just with TNA branding. We have ABC Ace Austin, baby. He's great. With versus the System versus the Hardys. Damn, this looks dope, and it was pretty damn cool. The bell rings. We are underway. We start with a big brawl. This match will be a challenge to keep up with, for sure. Bay nails Myers. The Hardys send the System to the floor. Bay then leaps over the top and wipes out the System on the floor. There are ladders, chairs, and ramps of some kind set up in the ring. The Hardys and the System take the action in the crowd. So they were fighting in the crowd. Mel nails Eddie with a chair. Jeff takes the chair and nails Eddie in the ribs. Myers is on the table being held by Bay as Ace comes off the mid-level area and crashes into Myers. Table breaks in half. So the tables are already broken. Now let's talk about the ring. It was painted like Jeff Hardy painted the ring like his own face paint. So all the chairs had Jeff Hardy's face paint.
So cool.
It was all spray painted. It looked bizarre. I'm like, they actually were creative with this. Like even the ladders looked all green and red and shit. Very creative. I was like, this looks so badass. I was like, I can't believe I'm 35 years old seeing the Hardys right now, front row. And they were doing WrestleMania 17 shit. One of the guys was hanging from the fucking title, like WrestleMania 17, where Edge spears him.
Oh,
they did that.
I gotta bring up a fun little fact. Brian Myers used to be in WWE, and you guys would know him as Kurt Hawkins.
I remember him, Kurt Hawkins.
And then during the match, they were saying Edge's bitch. Remember, he used to be one of the Edge heads.
Yeah.
And they were like, Edge's bitch,
Edge's bitch.
And he's like,
I'm not Edge's bitch. Who's Edge's bitch now?
Pretty funny.
Ace Austin's really good. I like him. He's one of my favorites in TNA. Ace Austin. I love his finisher. So this was like classic, like definitely WrestleMania 17 spots here. Table spots. Jeff Hardy climbs on an oversized ladder, does a swanton bomb at 50 something years old. Like, is this really happening right now? Are we really watching this? Chairs, fucking Matt Hardy. One of the ladders looked kind of fucked up though. They had some weird step ladder that wasn't working out.
And just his tag team partner is Chris Bay. He's good too.
Ace grabs a ladder and he and Brian slam into Matt. They double super kick Matt in the corner. Ace sets up Matt on the ladder and Bay comes off the top rope with a double stomp. Jeff grabs a ladder to take out Ace and Bay. Jeff unfolds a ladder and extends it as tall as it will go. Ace and Bay grab Jeff and double suplex him on the ladder. So, awesome ladder match. Honestly, I'd give it like, since they kind of did fuck up a little with the ladder, some of the spots, I'd still give this like a 9. I give this match like a fucking 9. It's pretty fucking sweet.
Honestly, I mean, I give it a 10 out of 10 A plus. It was phenomenal.
Well, the TNA Matt and Jeff did win, so that made it even more special. Because as we know, they went to AEW. They weren't that good in AEW. They kind of dropped the ball with the Hardys. Don't know how. Don't know why.
Well, a lot of it wasn't even AEW's fault. Jeff Hardy, remember
Was he on drugs?
Alcoholic? Yeah.
I do. Okay, I have said this on the PowerKast. I did watch Jeff in AEW. I was disappointed. I felt like he was kind of slow.
They had to send him to rehab, so that's why he missed.
Felt like he was slowed down. I'm like, I love you, Jeff, but like, man, do the Hardys? Maybe they're not that good.
So because they were gonna push them, and then they had to come to a screeching halt.
I felt bad saying that because I grew up a huge Hardy Boys fan. For me to go, I don't think the Hardys are good anymore.
And Jeff actually has regret. He even said himself that he doesn't like the way his AEW run was, like,
Yeah, I don't like it either.
But, well, he was upset because he screwed his chance. He had to go to rehab because he was drinking again. So that's why he really wanted to do things right and show the world that he can still go.
I hated saying that because I did a PowerKast in here where I was like, I don't know if Jeff's that good anymore. But you know what? Maybe it was just his drugs and AEW and the run. After tonight, Hardys are back.
Yeah.
They've rebranded themselves. They're back. The Hardys are great. Even at 50, they're still. I prefer them in TNA.
Yeah.
I think I prefer them in TNA over the WWE, honestly, too. I think they stand out better in TNA.
And like I said, he did after rehab, he did come back. He did come back and he did wrestle a little bit in TNA, and it never worked out. I think
I always thought,
And-
like, man, the Hardys in TNA, and they did have the original
Well,
theme song.
there's one thing that kind of stinks, and this is just how it is. It's like Jeff is not allowed to. He's not allowed to leave the United States. He cannot travel to Canada.
Why? Because he drinks and drives.
Yeah, he's not allowed to. He's not allowed to leave. He's banned in Canada for some reason. He's not allowed to be in Canada.
See, that I can't get behind.
So like I know when because AEW was doing a lot of tours in Canada and stuff, they had to completely write Jeff off the script.
I'm not gonna lie, I can't get behind the
Yeah.
drinking. I don't condone the drinking. I don't like that about Jeff.
And unfortunately, I know he did get injured in AEW too, which was actually Sammy's fault. Guevara, he
I get it though. We all got our demons, and we all fuck up.
'Cause-
No one's perfect.
yeah.
But I hope he's clean now. I don't know.
Yeah.
I still think Antichrist Jeff Hardy was my favorite in TNA.
I thought that was cool how they went into the crowd, and then Ace.
Yeah, they went in the crowd.
Yeah.
and everything.
Yeah. Then Ace did he jump off?
Yeah,
off?
he was doing some crazy.
Yeah.
We have to rewatch it because some of the shit in the crowd we couldn't see.
Yeah.
Because there was a lot of people. So we're definitely buying this on DVD.
Yeah, I'm buying it 100%.
So I mean, that was the show. I mean, after the Hardys went in the ring off air, so thank you Detroit. I think they were at a Pistons game recently.
Yeah.
The Hardys are back, and TNA will never die, just like Matt Hardy will never die. They said a bunch of shit. So. And then after you paid for the Jeff Hardy meet and greet with
Yeah.
Jeff, and y'all met Jeff Hardy.
Yeah.
And Joe Hendry walked right past us.
Yeah.
We've seen Joe Hendry.
Jordan Grace.
Yep.
Saw her
Tommy
too.
Dreamer walked past
Tommy
us.
Dreamer.
That was cool.
Yeah.
And Matt and Jeff walked past me. Bam, handshake. So man, I didn't want to wash my hand after. I'm like, dude, the Hardys. I was like geeking out. I was like, oh my god, is this real right now? Holy shit, I didn't expect this.
Yeah.
Like they're my childhood heroes.
Yeah.
I grew up with WWF, watching them WrestleMania 17. Like, wow. So yeah, we have video footage. We're gonna show it on here. Yeah. But honestly, 10 out of 10 pay-per-view. 10. I mean, there was that Rosemary match. I heard it wasn't that good. Maybe it's a 9 out of 10 pay-per-view, but personally for TNA, I think this was 10 overall.
Yeah.
The fact that the Hardy Boys won, Nick Nemeth, like the whole thing, the JBL showing up,
Yeah.
the Hall of
It
Fame,
was great.
you met Jeff Hardy. Yeah. TNA's back. I can't hate TNA. No, I don't see how anyone could hate TNA right now. Yeah. I don't know. That's it. That was TNA Bound for Glory 2024 from Detroit. I hope TNA comes back. I definitely want to go back. Tickets were only $85 and we were practically front row.
Yeah. And just so you know, the next day they did have Impact taping, but we
Yeah.
didn't go to that. We didn't. That's just too
Couldn't-
much.
Couldn't afford it.
Yeah, and that like we needed, you need a day to recover from that pay-per-view. Well, I had to work the next day anyway, so
And if you do watch it on TNA Plus, which is an app, you can watch Impact on TNA Plus.
Yeah.
You can probably see us in the crowd. I have an NWO Wolfpack red shirt
Yeah.
on. You could probably maybe see us. Because we were practically
Yeah.
front row. Like, we were pretty fucking close.
I had a black shirt that said Silent Theory on it.
So,
Cool band. I like.
yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. I mean, check out TNA. If you don't have cable, you can watch Impact on TNA Plus. They even have every episode from the whole discography of fucking TNA on there. Just like WWE Network. So you can watch any episode. That's perfect. So yeah, I'm happy for TNA. I'm glad they're back. I'm glad they're doing good. I'm sad Scott Moore's not there, but shit happens. It is what it is, I guess.
Yeah.
Tommy Dreamer's doing good, and that's going on. They're making it dope. I mean, anything more to say?
That's it.
Anything we're leaving out?
I think we're good.
Hope we're not leaving anything out.
I don't think so.
This has been the PowerKast Progression Radio with Power right here on Video Game XD, brought to you by XD Sports. Check us out. We will see you next time. Peace.
The PowerKast Progression Radio with Power.